This video is about simultaneous equations. Your learning objective is to solve simultaneous equations. In this video, I'm going to show three strategies. Okay, the first one is to show you solving it using graphing. Okay, so given two equations, and this one in graphing you can use other strategies. Here I'm going to use making the table strategy. So I'm just going to assign values to x to get the y. Okay, so I'm going to do that and use 6 points. Okay, so if I substitute 2, I'll get y as 0, and then I use 2 to 7. I'll do the same thing to the second equation. I will just plug in random numbers or random values. So then I have this. The idea is to get the common solution. So I hope you can see it. So I'm going to highlight that the common solution is when x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 4. So in both equations, you see these two values as the solution. Now if I graph all these values, it will look like this. And the red dot is 6 and 4. So if you are looking at it in a graph, it should be where those two lines meet. So this is the unique solution. Okay, so the solution for this is x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 4. Okay, moving on. The first method, which is the second strategy, is called elimination method. Okay, the idea for this one is to eliminate one variable. And what you're looking for is a variable that have the same coefficient. So at this one, you can see that y has the same coefficient. It's 1. Okay, so we would like to eliminate or remove y in here. So the first thing is to label your equations 1 and 2. Okay, now think, how can you eliminate? Can you eliminate y by adding or by subtracting? If we add, you'll get to y. So the best thing is to subtract. Now, if you're subtracting, make sure that you subtract from the beginning until the end. Okay, now I'm going to draw a line. Then we are subtracting 6x minus 4x. You'll have 2x. And then y minus y is going to be 0, so it will be gone. Don't forget to write the equal sign. 15 minus 11 is 4. Divide both sides by 2, and then you'll get x is equal to 2. Now you're not yet done. You know what the value of x is, but you need to find what is y. Now you may choose any of these two equations and work it out. Okay, I am going to choose equation 1. So I'm going to substitute x by 2 because I now know that the value of x is 2. So that's 6 times 2 plus y equals 15. You'll have 12 plus y equals 15. Subtract both sides by 15 and you'll get 3. So the unique solution is that x is equal to 2, y is equal to 3. This is for the first example. Second example. Okay, here find that variable that have the same coefficient. Now remember, this can happen to x. It's just that my example is in y. Okay, but it can happen here. So this variable has 4, so we can easily eliminate it by subtracting. So we'll use subtraction. First, label the equations 1 and 2. Then I'm going to draw a line there. So I'm using subtraction. 3x minus x is 2x, and 4y minus 4y is 0, so it's gone. And then equal sign, 17 minus 3 is going to be 14. I'm dividing both sides by 2, so x is equal to 7. You're not yet done. You know what is x. Now, choose an equation between 1 and 2 and substitute x and substitute 7 to x. Okay, so in this case, I'm choosing equation 2. So I'm substituting x by 7. So 7 plus 4y equals 3. Subtract both sides by 7. We'll have negative 4. Okay, divide 4 both sides and you'll end up with -1. So the solution is x is equal to 7, y is equal to -1. You can also express it as a point. Okay, another example. What if you cannot find similar or variable that have the same coefficient? You can make it the same. You may use either multiplication or division to do this. The idea is to make one equation and that variable with the same coefficient as the one you have chosen. So here I'm choosing 2y. I could just multiply 2 in this equation, the second equation. So let me put the numbers. Okay, so this is our equation. I am going to create a new equation, and for equation 2, I'm going to multiply 2. Okay, so I'm going to write that long line. So when you are multiplying, make sure that you multiply 2 to all the terms in that equation. So 2 times 2x is 4x, 2 times -y is -2y, equal sign 5 times 2 is 10. Now I have a new equation and I'm calling it equation 3. Now I don't need equation 2 anymore, but this time I can see I have the variable y has the same coefficient, which is 2, but I cannot eliminate 2y if I subtract. So I'm going to add them now because I want it to be 0. So by adding 3x plus 4x is 7x, 2y plus -2y is 0, and then don't forget the equal sign. 18 plus 10 is 28. I'm dividing both sides by 7, so x is 4. Now you can substitute x by 4. I'm going to choose equation 2. So x will become 4, so this one will become 8. 8 minus y equals 5. Then subtract both sides by 8. I'll get the -3. But by then, the y is negative, so I'm going to multiply both sides by a negative number. So I'll have a y equals 3. So the solution is x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 3. Okay, here's the last example for elimination. What if you cannot find, again, same coefficient? I'm going to use y again, and I'm looking at a coefficient of 3 and a coefficient of 2. My thinking is I'm going to make them both into 6. So now I'm changing and we'll be making two new equations. Okay, so let's start labeling our equation. You have equation 1 and equation 2. Again, my intention is to make y into the coefficient into 6. So for me to do that, I can only use multiplication or division. I would like to multiply equation 1 by 2. So I'm going to multiply all the terms here by 2. Let me draw the line and let's start making a new equation. Okay, multiply 4x by 2, you get 8x. Multiply 3y by 2 is 6y, equals, multiply 27 by 2, you'll get 54. And now I'm labeling this as my new equation, equation 3. Remember that my intention is to make it to 6y. So for me to do that, I need to multiply all the terms here by 3. So 5x multiplied by 3 is 15x. And then -2y over there times 3 is -6y. I have to the last term, 5 times 3 is 15. That's equation 4. Now that I have y with the same coefficient, I can now eliminate it. I can eliminate it by adding, but not by subtracting. So 8x plus 15x. Okay, now I change the slide. 8x plus 15x is 23x. Now 6y plus -6y is 0. So that's eliminated. Then 54 plus 15 is 69. I will multiply both sides by 23 and x is 3. Now I can substitute x by 3. Let's choose an equation. Okay, I'm choosing equation 3, 8x plus 6y equal 54. So 8 times 3 is 24 plus 6y and 54. I subtract both sides by 24, so I get 6y equals 30. So now divide both sides by 6, so we'll get y is equal to 5. So the solution is x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 5. Okay, that's elimination method for you. The last method is substitution, which is easier than elimination. But then again, it depends on your comfortability. Okay, for substitution method, so we're numbering the equations. You have equation 1 and equation 2. Okay, so I'm choosing equation 2 and I'm rearranging it. So I'm choosing equation 1 and I'm rearranging it. So I move 6x to the other side. So now I have y is equal to 15 minus 6x. Because y is equal to 15 minus 6x, we can use equation 2 this time. Okay, so I'll have 4x. I'm copying this 4x plus y equals 11. I can change y and plug this expression to here because I can substitute y by 15 minus x. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that in there. Okay, so now we can do and simplify the expression or the equation. So we look at this 4x minus 6x or negative 6x are like terms. Then plus 15 equals 11. 4x minus 6x is negative 2x plus 15 equals 11. We can subtract both sides by 15, which will give you negative 4. So you still have negative 2x. X then is equal to 2. Okay, so now to continue, because we are not yet done, we still have to find y. Now we can substitute 2 to x. So just choose any equation from 1 or 2. Okay, so then let's choose equation 2. I'm plugging in 2 to x, so that will become 8. 8 plus y is equal to 11. Subtract 8 on both sides. Y is equal to 3. So the solution for this one is x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3.